guys, my name is Rhianna. I'm a fourth year law student at the University of Nottingham, and I've literally just came to the end of my first semester of my final year, so the first of the last. I felt like, I would make a chatty, honest review of the University of Nottingham, thinking about my time here, as I'm quite literally very much a veteran, like have just been here and experienced it throughout all of its changes. I'm also someone who likes to think deeply, so I think I will give quite a good review on what it was like to go there as, a working class woman, as a black woman, as a woman, as a person, as an attendee, as a student here at the uni. So let's just dive in. So I think first, obviously, we want to speak about academics as a topic. I would say that Nottingham is pretty highly ranked when it comes to most courses. I do law, and I know the law school here is pretty good, but I would say it's a very big uni. So if you're doing popular courses, you're gonna have over hundreds of people on your course. I feel like when I first got here, I felt like a small fish in a big pond, which was, definitely difficult to grapple with at first. And I think in terms of employability, I think Nottingham is so good. I think because it's so big, you just have so many resources. I literally booked a careers teams meeting literally last week, and you just go, you just talk, they literally help you with anything. I never really accessed it much in my time at uni, but definitely more as I get to the end of my tenure here, it's became a lot more useful. And I think just generally when I go to open days or just law firm events, things like that, Nottingham grads or Nottingham students, they're there. We are here, we are very proactive, and I think that's a combination between just the uni being very lively socially, sports wise, and then that translating into academics, because we want to work with people who are interesting, who have things about them, and I think that's what Nots grads definitely bring. I would also say people are actually quite locked in at this uni. I feel like people might think not. If you do want to completely nerd out and just lock in and do your Russell group bit, you can really find that balance. I love going to the libraries on campus. It definitely gives academic weapon when it needs to be. But I would say in terms of academics as well, Nottingham, as you probably have seen in the news, where modern languages have been dropped, nursing, architecture, I was hearing, are now no longer being held at this uni. I definitely think there is a lot to say about the future of university in the UK, but obviously particularly here at Nottingham. Strike action is something that has affected a lot of my friends, not necessarily in my personal course in law. I don't really know why. They should be joining their union, exercising their rights. In a lot of other courses, especially humanities, strike action is really affecting students. Even though I think the strike action is very fair, it directly links to a bunch of really important and amazing courses getting dropped from our uni. But I just think right now the management of our university is very poor, and that is very much affecting the academic life for a lot of people, where they literally just don't have lectures, they don't have topics being taught because their lecturers are striking, which is not it, and is only specific to the University of Nottingham right now. I would definitely bear that 100% in mind. But the professors are amazing, generally, the ones that I've interacted with. I went to America on my year abroad, and I really loved the professor culture there. And I do really like that Nottingham does have that very vibrant, lively professor culture where they really are scholars. They really want to push you and help you and want you to pursue a life and career in academia, which is exactly where you want your professors to be. You don't want lifeless people who are kind of doing things to check a box to get you your job and move you along from A to B. That's not what you want. You're here for uni. You're here to explore intellectually, just find what you're passionate about, know a lot about a niche topic, be able to think critically and question. It is just so much more than trying to get a job, and I think the professors do a decent job in law and my experience in humanities at doing that, which is really nice. Okay, nightlife. I love how she's second. I would say nightlife in Nottingham is the best I've seen in terms of uni cities, but I know other uni cities do it pretty well. If you come to Nottingham, I feel like you're in safe hands in terms of when you want to go out and things like that. When you're a fresher here at Nottingham, or even a second year, honestly any time, to be fair, if you join sports clubs or just clubs in general, I think it's really nice to get to go out with people and dress up silly, and it's just very uni. You never really get another time in your life where you get to kind of just go out randomly on a Monday night, on a Tuesday night. You can make lovely friends, you get to form deep connections very fast. It's always been such a lovely time. And there are also lots of independent like clubs and bars, so it's not like you're getting like your prisms, like I don't think they even exist much anymore anyway. A lot of independent vibes, so it's like things that are very specific to Nottingham, which is really nice as well. You kind of get that culture, like essence vibe, which I really like. I put in my notes, Trent keeps us on our toes, kiss kiss, because they be outside, they be there, like they be there. But I would say this is my only like con. In first year, like it was very heavy drinking culture. Like if I was someone who didn't drink, I feel like I would have struggled to really get involved, especially where I lived as well. I lived at this accommodation called Deacon's Place, which I will go on to speak about accommodation right at the end. Just where I was, it was so much fun, so amazing, but like obviously very heavy like going out culture, just generally just to bond, just like make friends and things like that. Definitely be mindful of that, and I think you would have to be just more intentional if you wanted to find more non-drinking socials, or just going out to the club and not drinking. Like that's also period he. Campus. I wanted to do a whole section on campus because I think our campus is actually gorgeous. So University Park campus is literally this beautiful big open green space. She's gorgeous. That is the main reason, not the main reason, but one of the top reasons why I chose Nottingham over going to Warwick. No shade to Warwick, but the campus was just very like brick, one tree, pavement, which I'm not really personally into. I love nature. I think it's so healing just looking at a tree, like it heals me, you know? So I knew like I wanted to come to a university that just like had that green space. Uni Park campus is definitely that. It's literally like you have to drive into it. It's just very cute, very stately home. We have Trent Building, which is like just a building on campus, and it is gorge. I feel like that's what they show in all the pictures of Nottingham, to be fair. That's definitely not what the whole campus looks like. It's definitely very Y2K in parts. Hallwood, I'm looking at you, but I really do like it. You need to come here to see it. Like if you have an open day, if you have an offer day, do the drive, like come up, see the campus, because I think it's really important to be in a space where you just like what it looks like. Yeah, you're going to be there for 3 years. Maybe 4. And there's also lots of good shortcuts. The campus is actually very big, so it's a campus uni, which I really, really like too, because you're not in a city, you're not like dodging like civilians, you're just like in a campus. But I would say, yeah, the cons, I'm like doing pros and cons. It is very hilly, very hilly. I think all of Nottingham is just very hilly. And missing the campus bus, because there's a campus bus that would take you, or just missing the bus. I miss a bus babe, so for me, like, it's just like, if I miss the bus as long. Getting to David Ross is hard because there's so many road closures. So that's annoying. Societies. So at Knots, there are literally several societies that are ranked the best in the UK. And I do think we're like the #1 sports uni, I want to say. And yeah, having committee positions here, very well respected. And president positions are very notable for employability as well. We have a big freshers fair at the start of the year. And yeah, that's always a good way just to find out about the clubs that we have going on. People really want you to join. Like they really do. It's a great place to pick up a new hobby or try something new. I joined the 93% club in my first year. To be fair, it kind of led on from my own personal interest in state school students and our issues, and us breaking into industries that, you know, historically weren't made for us or weren't made for us to access easily, and that was kind of on purpose. I'm looking at you, law. And yeah, this year I'm on the cheer team, which is really, really fun as well. It's super easy to get involved, and people really want you to get involved as well. Knowing that the clubs are big, there's a lot of people getting involved. Like, I feel like at some unis, like society culture isn't really that big. Like not everyone is kind of in a society, but here at Nottingham, I would say probably every other person you know would be a part of a society. Like it's very common, and I definitely think that directly leads into employability, like 100%. But here's my but. I would say some clubs feel cliquey and exclusive for whatever reason. I think maybe it's just a perpetuation of the class inequalities that exist, the very real racial inequalities that exist in our world. So that is definitely something to be mindful of. I think obviously it is reflective of a lot of certain parts of England anyways. Being able to deal with that builds character when, you know, you do eventually go out into the world. But also sometimes no, like I tried out korfball in my first year and I was like, I can't do this, I'm the only black person here and I can't do it. And that's okay, cut your loss, it's not that deep. right? I really wanted to be frank about that. But I will say the uni is definitely becoming more diverse, to be honest. And like, it is diverse, like depending on where you are. Well, depending on what clubs you're in. We have massive cultural societies as well, like our ACS, our Oriental Socks. Like they are massive, and they are big and vibrant and have a lot going on. It really just does depend where you are. I also said nepotism within committees. That is a thing, which just naturally makes sense. Like, I think if a group of friends start a society, of course their group of friends are gonna like pass it on to each other. I think anywhere there's nepotism, right? Accommodation. I think accommodation here is great. It's getting a lot more expensive. Literally, I think the prices raise every year. I actually have no idea what other unis are saying about it, but I do know in terms of the Midlands, I do think Nottingham is like the most expensive out of any of the other Midland unis. We have on-campus options, which are a little bit more expensive, but they do offer food, and then we have off-campus options that are nearby. Most people live off-campus because obviously there's only a finite amount of accommodations on campus. People in first year will live on campus usually, but also people in first year also will usually not live on campus and will live in an accommodation that's off-campus. And I said I lived at Dickens Place, which is like a big building with like hundreds of flats, or not hundreds, maybe like 50, maybe 100. I don't really know. There was a lot of beds. Hella big accommodation that was right next to another accommodation that was right next to another. And yeah, it was great. It was everything. Everyone was so close together. In terms of what I would recommend SPC. That's actually what I would recommend. It's right next to Deacon's, and it's been renovated, and I know the price isn't extortionate. I know Deacon's price has actually gone up like every year, and it's like not worth that. No. Yeah, I would recommend SPC, Morris House. I don't know. I would recommend on campus as well. Nightingale Hall. That was gorgeous, and it's right next to David Ross. And it's like, but it's not Rutland. But I would say go. You can get your first choice if you just book early, like April 1st or something. I think if I were to give advice to people coming to uni this year or trying to figure out what uni is right for them, I would say definitely try and visit the places you want to go to. England isn't that big. Like, it's truly like a train away, like no more than 2 hours. And it really is a place you're going to be in for the next couple years. You really want to like enjoy the place. You really want to get there and be like, I feel good here. That's exactly kind of the vibes I went off when I came to going to uni here. I went to Sussex, Warwick, Notts as like the 3 ones I actually went to visit in person. Being there, feeling the actual vibe, seeing the students, interacting with the students on an open day as well, like it just gives you a lot of insight into what is to come. Think about whether you want to be in a city, whether you want to be in a campus uni. Think about, do you want to join a society? Are you big on societies? Is that something that means a lot to you, that you still want to keep on doing your extracurriculars? Is there a particular extracurricular you would want to do? And look at the uni. Does the uni offer it? And to be fair with Nottingham, you know that anything you're interested in, any sport, any like personal interest you have, there are going to be a fuck ton of people who are indulging in it, getting involved, which I don't know, that really stuck out to me, and that really, like, I appreciated it. Like, even like yoga, love some yoga. Like, it's just so much to get involved with, which I just think that is literally what university is about. Like getting involved, getting your degree, and yeah, just finding out who you are. And I definitely think Nottingham is the place for that. And definitely sit with yourself about what you want to study. I think Nottingham not offering language options from this year onwards is a really, really terrible thing. It is something that I think is highly unattractive from a university, and I hope it does change. I think if it doesn't, that is so silly, and this country is going into the bin as I speak. But yeah, I think that is probably something to really, really bear in mind if you ever wanted to take a language module or do classes in a language, which I think is a very fair want. I would definitely be very mindful of the fact that Nottingham doesn't offer language modules anymore. But yes, I feel like I'm done. I feel like I've spoken to my heart's content. Yeah, I definitely am down to answer any more questions about Nottingham as a uni. I have a law video coming very soon, which is about why you should study law or not, because I think everyone should, truly. Thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate you all. Bye.